Greetings, wayward fans. Thank you all for watching. My name is Kripke, and I will be your guide as we dive into another episode analysis video. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy. Episode 11 of this season is called Scarecrow. Sam and Dean argue and part ways, Dean to hunt in Indiana, and Sam seeking their father John in California. Their separation doesn't last very long, as the danger Dean faces is beyond what the Winchesters have faced before. The Scarecrow is actually a deity, or to be more specific, a Norse god from mythology. He is called the Vanir, and known as the fertility god of wisdom and future, and this one is hungry for human sacrifices. Like with all demigods, they may appear immortal and powerful, but they all have a weakness you can exploit. This is the first appearance of Meg. She is a demon and daughter of Azazel, the yellow-eyed demon who killed Mary Winchester. Meg is on a special mission for her father, and it's up to Sam and Dean to find out what. Let the hunt begin. In Norse mythology, the Vanir are originally a group of wild nature and fertility gods, the sworn enemies of the warrior gods of the Aesir. They were considered to be the bringers of health, youth, fertility, luck, and wealth, and the masters of magic, also known for their protection and prosperity, by keeping the local settlements safe from harm. Some villages built effigies of the Vanir in the fields, while other villages practiced human sacrifices, consisting of one male and one female. The Vanir are pagan gods that reside in an ancient tree brought to the U.S. by Scandinavian immigrants. The tree is identifiable with markings etched on it. Each year, the people of Burkittsville, Indiana, present it with a young man and woman as sacrifice to ensure that the prosperity of their own town and its crops.
Please, let's just hurry, okay?
The gods inhabit the form of a scarecrow made from the body of its previous victims and kill their sacrifices with a hooked blade or scythe.
Nice dad.
John Winchester was able to narrow down the disappearances to a small town in Indiana, and he wants the boys to investigate and hope to stop the killings.
Dude, you fugly.
As pagan deities, they are quite powerful, and most are classified as higher beings. Normally, it depends on the type of deity and how old and strong they are. They also gain strength through sacrifice, particularly blood and human sacrifices. While each deity has unique magical powers, they do share certain powers and attributes. Most of them are more powerful than monsters, spirits, and most demons. Let's go over what this Norse god can do. Tribute, blessing. When given human sacrifices, one male and one female, they can ensure the prosperity and protection of its environment. Crops will grow faster and larger, and disease will skip the protected area. However, if the tributes aren't met each year, the blessings will begin to fade shortly after, and eventually wither and die. Possession. The Vanir are able to possess the Scarecrow at will, leaving or entering depending on his desire. Immortality. As a pagan deity, the Vanir doesn't age and is immune to disease. It will remain in the first tree for eternity unless the tree is destroyed. Invulnerability is the ability to withstand any amount of physical damage or harmful force, causing little, if any, harm or pain to the individual. The Vanir could not be harmed by most weapons, even shotgun blasts barely slowed it down. Weather manipulation is the ability to control, manipulate, or generate the weather. The Vanir has limited control over the weather. If sacrifices are given, it will provide a climate well suited for planting and harvesting. If angered, it can unleash heavy rain. Super strength. They are exceedingly strong, being able to easily overpower and lift full-grown humans. The Vanir demonstrated this when he dragged Harley with one hand, holding Stacy in the other. In case you were unfortunate enough to run into a similar deity, this is how the Winchesters ended its immortality. After their car breaks down, Steve and Polly enter the orchard looking for assistance. They run into the Scarecrow and the chase begins. Dean arrives just in time and slows the Vanir down with a few shotgun blasts. Once they cross the orchard border to the car, it seems that the Vanir is unable to follow them. The townsfolk have to resort to a desperate alternative since Dean interfered and agreed to use him and Emily as the new couple to give to the Vanir. The townspeople tie them up to the trees in the orchard, leaving them to be taken.
You don't have a plan, do you?
I'm working on it.
As night falls, Sam arrives and frees them, but the Scarecrow's already after them. The townspeople try to thwart their escape, but instead the Scarecrow makes his own choice and takes Emily's aunt and uncle. By daybreak, Sam, Dean, and Emily hunt down the first tree and then burn it. The protection to the town may die with their pagan god, but hey, they'll be just like every other town now. Sam and Dean are back together, and Emily heads to Boston, getting as far away from this place as possible.
Hold me, Sam. That was beautiful. Come on.
You should be kissing my ass. You were dead meat, dude.
Yeah, right. I had a plan. I'd have gotten out.
This is the analysis and reveal, where I put the episode under a microscope for your entertainment and knowledge. Number 1. This episode has a lot of firsts in this series. The appearance of Meg, the goblet of blood, which is used to phone hell, and the first time the Winchesters went up against a deity.
I'm Meg.
Sam.
Number 2. This episode marks the first mention of Dean's love for pie.
We're famous for our apples, so you gotta try this pie.
Oh, and some of that pine, too, while you're at it.
Number 3. The apple orchard in this episode was actually filled with hazelnut trees, not apple trees. That could explain all the nice-looking ripe apples along the ground and in the crates. Apples are harvested during the autumn. Since this episode takes place in the second week of April, these apples should be rotten and decayed. Number 4. Burkittsville was originally settled by Scandinavians, located in northern England, which connects the Scarecrow to the Norse Vanir legend, and how they brought with them the ancient tree.
Like that town near here, Burkittsville. Where are their ancestors from?
Northern Europe, I believe, Scandinavia.
What can you tell me about those pagan gods?
Number 5. Dean mentions that he checked in Salem, Indiana, looking for his friends. Salem is the town that Days of Our Lives takes place, which co-starred the actor Jensen Ackles. I wonder if he was meaning those friends.
Who are they?
Friends of mine. They went missing about a year ago. They passed through somewhere around here, and I've already asked around Scottsburg and Salem.
Number 6. At the very start of the episode, after the couple's car breaks down and Holly looks into the orchard, you can see something moving on the left side. It could be the Vanir already moving about, or it could be someone on set that got their shadow in the way. Not really sure. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Come on, looks like a house over there.
No, I'm not going in there.
Number 7. On Dean's cell phone, there are a total of 8 names displayed. Most of them appear to be department crew members. Let's go over each one. The first one is Bren Moore, the costume set supervisor. Carmelita Fowler, the property assistant. Christian, which is Chris Sneeden, the construction coordinator. Curtis, which is Kurt Mays, the on-set dresser. Dad, which is, I'm guessing, John Winchester. Donnie, which goes by Don McGill, the assistant property master. Okay, the next one, I apologize if I mispronounced the last name. It's Robin Stushinov, the assistant property master. The last one that's listed on his phone is the toughest one of them all. Sam. Not sure who that is. Number 8. On Sam's cell phone, there are a total of 5 names displayed. Let's go over each one. Rebecca Warren. She's the girl from Season 1, Episode 6 in Skin. Jerry, which is most likely the person from Season 1, Episode 4, The Phantom Traveler. John Marninuk, one of the production designers. The next name is Dean. I think we all know who that is. The final one is Mary Ann Liu. This is the show's graphic designer. On to cultural references. Number 1.
Well, there are hundreds of Norse gods and goddesses.
I'm actually looking for one. Might live in an orchard.
Wait.
What's that one?
That's not a woods god per se.
William B. Davis, who plays the local professor Dean confers with, is best known for portraying the cigarette-smoking man on the cult science fiction show The X-Files. Number 2.
The villages built effigies of the Vanir in their fields. Other villages practice human sacrifice, one male and one female.
The plot of this episode has similarities to the 1973 film The Wicker Man and its 2006 remake. The locals in a rural area sacrifice people to a pagan god in order to keep the community prosperous. Number 3.
Check it out. If I only had a brain.
We wouldn't be lost.
Thanks.
This, of course, is a reference to the Scarecrow character from the Wizard of Oz book and film. The film was released back in 1939, whereas when it debuted on TV for the first time, it was back in 1956.
That's the trouble. I can't make up my mind. I haven't got a brain. Only straw.
How can you talk if you haven't got a brain?
Number 4.
So Dad is sending us to Indiana to go hunting for something before another couple vanishes?
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee is a reference to the dice game made by Milton Bradley. Normally when someone says Yahtzee, it has to mean something really good happened. Number 5.
The town needs to be saved. The good of the many outweighs the good of the one.
This is most likely a reference to the line from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, where one of Spock's favorite lines is, "Where I invoke logic, however, logic clearly dictates that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one."
Logic clearly dictates that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one.
Number 6.
All right, now the sacred tree you're talking about.
It's the source of its power.
So let's find it and burn it.
Oh, in the morning. Let's just shag ass before Leatherface catches up.
This is a reference to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and its many movies that came with it. Leatherface is a member of the large southern Texas family called the Sawyers, who are psychotic, cannibalistic butchers and serial killers. Leatherface is the largest and wears a mask made of human skin and wielding a chainsaw. Number 7.
Hi, my name's John Bonham.
Isn't that the drummer for Led Zeppelin?
Wow. Good. Classic rock fan.
What can I do for you, John?
Dean uses the name John Bonham when questioning about the missing people in Burkittsville. John Bonham is the late drummer for Led Zeppelin. And now on to Have I Seen You Before? Or Deja Vu. Number 1. Tom Butler, who played Harley Jordson, also played Reverend Jim Myers in Season 9, Episode 12, Sharp Teeth.
So, let's get you back to the interstate.
Yeah, please.
Take Lasky straight out of town.
My daughter Bess was born a lycanthrope. It was one of the proudest days of my life, which soon turned tragic when a hunter killed my wife.
Number 2. Brent State, who played Scotty, also played Rick in Season 6, Episode 16, and then there were none.
They passed through somewhere around here, and I've already asked around Scottsburg and Salem.
Sorry. We don't get many strangers around here.
This emptiness you feel inside, it's really a hunger for him.
You do know that Jesus was just a man.
Sure.
Number 3. Laura Gilchrist, who played Holly Parker, also played the Wraith, known as Nurse Foreman, in Season 5, Episode 11, Sam Interrupted.
Please, let's just hurry, okay?
Pudding!
All right, come on, you two.
Number 4. Leah Graham, who played Polly, also played the assistant director in Season 2, Episode 18, Hollywood Babylon.
So what brings you to town?
We just stopped for gas, and the guy at the gas station saved our lives.
Is that right?
Don't mark that.
On to continuity errors. And now for some fun. I'm going to show you very short clips from the episode, and let's see if you can find the error. Pause the video if needed for more time. Number 1.
Always on the second week of April. 1 year after another after another.
This is the second week of April.
Yep.
Whenever we are in the orchard, if you look carefully, you can see apples all over the place, on the ground, in the crates, everywhere. The story is supposed to take place in the second week of April. Apples are harvested during the autumn, and those look like fresh-looking apples, not rotten ones. Number 2.
We're not?
No, we're going to California. Dad called from a payphone. We got to be there. We got to help.
Dad doesn't want our help.
While Sam and Dean are driving in the Impala, in the wide shots in the car, we see Dean with a flashlight on his right shoulder. And then in the close-ups, it's not there. And then later in the wide shots, it's also gone. So what happened to the flashlight? Number 3. When Dean climbs down the ladder to look at the Scarecrow, you can clearly see it breathing. If Dean saw this thing breathing, he most likely would have tried to take the mask off and see who was in there. On to goofs. The fun continues. Just like with continuity errors, I'm going to show you very short clips from the episode, and let's see if you can find the error. Pause the video if you need to for more time. Number 1.
Listen, thank you very much.
If I could help.
When Dean is heading for the door after speaking to the local professor, one of the camera ends can be seen popping out on the left side. Number 2. At the start of the episode, after the couple encounter their Scarecrow and start to walk away, they hear a noise, and when the camera angle changes, you can see a car's rear backlight. And then a little ways after, when Holly runs down the orchard path, she heads to some strange spotlights, and a flashing green light can be seen in the trees. What in the world is going on there? If something was chasing me, I'd run to those lights, not back down the dark pathway. Number 3.
Mind filling it up there, Emily? So, did you grow up here?
When Emily goes to fill up the Impala's gas tank, the license plate door for the tank is already flipped down. Who in the world did that? Now let's tally up the total kills done by Fugly. John Winchester was able to identify 3 couples over the past 3 years that went missing for a total of 6. Nothing was mentioned on how long these sacrifices went on in the town. The sacrifice for this year was interrupted by Dean, but the walking Wicker Man grabbed Harley and Stacy Georgeson to fulfill this year's hunger. So the grand total of kills is 8, but I have a feeling the actual count is far greater due to the Vanirs living for centuries. And with the tree burned, he will now live its days as a real scarecrow. If anyone would like to know more about the Vanir, deities, or the Norse god mythology, check out the links in the description below. If anyone has an interest in real paranormal investigating, or simply have a story, video, or photo you'd like to share, reach out to Thomas D'Agostino, public speaker, author of 12 books, and over 38 years of paranormal investigating. He is always looking for new stories and experiences to share. You can find his contact info in the description below. Please remember to like and subscribe to become a member of Kripke's Supernatural Hunters. And don't forget to click the bell so you'll be notified of any new videos. I'd love to hear from you. Please feel free to leave me a comment or any questions you may have below. Thank you so much for watching, Wayward fans, and as always, carry on the hunt.